Hi there and welcome back. It's Lisa from Critters'n Ink Designs in Ontario, Canada. And I'm back. I've been really busy with quilts and I was away last weekend for a Canadian only demonstrator event in the Montreal area and we had a blast. It was only one day, but my friend who's also part of my team and I went Friday night and stayed overnight and then did the event on Saturday and then drove the 4 hours home after the event. But it was great. It was hosted by Genevieve Coe, who is our support manager for Canada. And we had a really fantastic guest host, Sarah Douglas, who is the CEO of Stampin' Up. So that was super fun. And what are you doing? That's my cat. And then so we in the morning we had a card swap, and if you don't know what that is, that means that we created cards and brought them and then swapped with other demonstrators and received cards in return from there. And then you bring them home and it gives you inspiration to do some fun things. So I'm going to share today what my swap was, and this was my swap for my event. A couple of things. I'm just going to let Georgie out here. You want to get out? You do? Okay, away you go. Scoot. A couple of things before we get started is on Saturday is National Scrapbooking Day. And let me see if I can find so there is a flash sale on memory keeping products, 20% off on Saturday only for 24 hours. So if you're a scrapbooker, you might want to look into that. I personally am not a scrapbooker, but I did do a scrapbooking thing at the event and I actually quite liked it. So you never know, I may convert. Also, starting on May 1st, which I think it's tomorrow, is it not? Not sure. Tomorrow, the new product of the month is this Berry Botanical Vellum. I can't wait. So I have an order to go in, but I'm waiting until tomorrow to put my order in because I want this vellum. So vellum, it's going to be see-through, so I'm really excited about that. So you get, does it say how many sheets? 12 by 12. It looks like there's 4 sheets. It doesn't tell you how many sheets, but I'm going to assume it's 4 sheets. And that will be $7 to add on to your order of $100 or more. And then there was one more thing. What was that? Starting on May the 5th, there is a new joining incentive, a new starter kit offer. So you have 2 choices. One of them will be the normal starter kit in Canada is you choose $165 worth of product and you only pay $135 for it. So that's pretty cool. But from May the 5th to May 31st, you will automatically get added into your order the 2026 to 2028 ink pads. You don't even have to add them to your order. They will automatically add to your starter kit. So that's $215 worth of product for $135. So that's kind of exciting. I'm excited about that. So anyway, that's my news. Here's a picture of Sarah and I. You can see it was the end of the day. I was pooped. Really, really tired. We had driven the 4 hours to get there Friday night, and then there was a big mix-up at our hotel. They gave our room away. We had ordered and paid for a deluxe room, and why am I? And they gave our room away. Apparently there was a hockey tournament and they figured we wouldn't care. Well, I wasn't happy, but So we got a room and then we ended up getting an extra bed brought in. And then, so we thought, okay, it's not ideal, but we'll deal with it. So then we went out for dinner, and when we came back, we had just gotten into our pajamas and we're having a glass of wine in our room. And we get a knock on the door, and it's the management, or they had sent up a custodian to say, we're going to move you to a different room, because apparently there was a cancellation and we were going to get our deluxe room. So we had to get dressed, pack, unpack, no, repack, and then move down to our other room. What a schmozzle. Anyway, it was great. So then the next morning we had to head over to the other venue and spend the day with Jen and Sarah, and it was really, really fun. So I'm going to go down to my desk. I'm going to share a few of the swaps that I received. There are some really pretty ones. So let me go down to my desk. So here's one. And I like the detail here. She just used her scoring tool to create a couple of lines and then just put a little banner and some squares. Now these are cut out with a die. You can see the little punches there, like from a stitch die. But isn't that cute? Really, really cute. And this one was from Jan Lariviere. It doesn't say where she's from, but it's a, I'm gonna get that sound, it looks like a 514 is like a Montreal area code. And then here was another one made with that new fern suite that's coming out next week. And she didn't put a sentiment there. She felt that it would be fun to put our own. And this one was from Paper Delights with Shannon. So that was nice. And then here, So Grateful for You. That's pretty. And this is from Stampin' with Diane. And I love this one. I think I'm actually going to do some of these for my thank you cards, excuse me, for next month. I really, really like these, and I have a ton of this paper, so I just love it. And that's using the new embossing plate, or the, oh my gosh, what do you call it? This was the product of the month for April. There. I'm just going to let Georgie in. She's banging on the door. Okay, come on. Yeah, you're being a nuisance. Come on. And then this one, I'm not sure which paper this is. Adventures, something Adventures, I think. And that was from Melissa Reed. I believe she's from the Toronto area. And then this one was really pretty as well. What kitty? This doesn't have a name on it. So that's really, really nice. I like that one. And then here's a really cute one with those little birthday, what do you call them? Like the puffy, little puffy stickers. That's really cute. This one, Denise Moss from Bourget, Ontario. And then I love this one. Look at how pretty that is. Really, really pretty. And this one was Tammy Richard. And look at this one. I love it. Really pretty. And this one was from Michelle. And this is that new paper. The white, anything white is actually flocked. Flocked is like fuzzy, kind of. It's raised and it's textured. It's really pretty. I don't have this paper yet, but it's coming. And this one is from my friend Marianne. And Marianne actually did a demonstration of one of the new suites. She did a demonstration with the Lily of the Valley suite that will be coming out next week. And this is a sample with the new in color. This is what? My goodness. This is the cantaloupe. Oh, what's it called? Crisp Cantaloupe. This is the new in color. Oh, hi, Marianne. I was just talking about you. This is the new, one of the new in colors for 26 to 28. And then this one is also done in the new colors as well. I just love this. I think this is really pretty. And this, of course, is using the Everyday Arches dies. Very, very cute. And then this one, I thought this one was really unique and really stunning. You can see it's, I don't know if you can see, let me take it out of the paper. This is black, this is probably clear embossing powder that she did the stamping with. And then she used if you look at it, you can sort of see the blue tint there. It's the new blue shimmery vellum, which, what, kitty? This is the new shimmery vellum. I'm just unpacking all my stuff, so there's just stuff everywhere. This is the new shimmery vellum, and it is so pretty. I haven't even taken it out of the package yet, but look. Isn't that gorgeous? So that's the blue. This is the hydrangea hue. And then the Berlay blush. And let's say on here. It just says iridescent. So this one is just like an iridescent. It's almost beigey. But it's really, look at that shine. Oh, stunning. Anyway, so what she did, I think, I could be wrong, but I think what she did was she took, you can see the blue underneath, and I think she just took maybe her, what do you call that rolly thing, with black ink, and just covered it up, because you can still see the shimmer underneath it. But isn't that cool? I love it. So, and then we had a show and tell table, and these are the cards that I brought for the show and tell table. Now, you may have seen the video that I did on this card. This is using, oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of this. Georgie is sitting, she's sitting in my she's moving all the recycling around in my recycle bin to make a little bed. You're such a crazy cat. I forget the name of this. If anybody can think of this, it's a stamp, die, and stencil set, and I can't remember the name of it. But so on here, I use the stencils to make the color, and then I use the final stencil, and I just tinted some of the shimmer paste, the Stampin' Up! Shimmer paste, with lemon lolly, and then I just put it through the stencil to give it that dimensional, and then I just cut off part of the flower, and it stands up like this. So this was one of my things on the I don't know what they call it, like a braggy table where you put your things. And then I did this one the same, and this one is called Layers of Beauty, I think this one was, and I did the same thing. On the final stencil, I just tinted some of the shimmer paste with fresh freesia. It looks a little bit darker, but I think it's just because of the shimmer paste. And then also some of the lemon lime twist as well. This looks way darker. I'm just looking at my monitor. It looks way darker than it actually is. It's actually quite light. But, and again, this one stands up like this. And I just did a partial cut with the die on the bottom. And then I also brought this one, same stamp set as this one. So just a different look. And I did it again in Pool Party. And then on the inside, I just stamped it in gray granite and just used a little bit of like blended some color in there. And then I brought this one. Now I did a video on this one a couple of weeks ago using the Springtime Scenes die, which I'm going to be using again today. And this just slides open like that. That's kind of cool. So that was one. And then I did a video on this one recently as well. And this was my Stacking Arches card. What, kitty? Oh, I know. Life's tough when you're a cat. I don't know why it's not standing up, but anyway. So there, I just recently did a video on this one as well. So that's what I brought. And then I found one more. This one is in French. And I found one more swap card. And this one is from Estelle Rochefort. And I'm going to assume she's in, I shouldn't assume, but it's in French. So I'm going to possibly assume that she was in Quebec. She's from Quebec. So those were the cards that I received in my swap. I didn't bring very many this time, but, oh, I brought my card over here. But I just thought I'd share those. They're kind of fun. So this, again, is the one that we're going to make today. So what you're going to need for this is I'm using a basic white thick piece of cardstock for the card base. That is 8.5 by 5.5. And I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. And that'll be my card base. So 4 1/4. Whoops. Oh, let me just turn my phone off here. There. And your scoring blade is the lighter color. Like you have two colors. You have a brown one and a beige one. Oh, thanks, Marianne. So the beige one is your scoring tool. And you can tell that if you look at the top of it, there's a little circle, as opposed to this one has a little triangle. I don't know if can you see the triangle? On there, there's a little triangle. That means it's a blade. So the round one is what we're after. So let me go here, 2 1/4. And I'm scoring this at 4 1/4. And that's going to be our card base for our card. And then we also need a piece that is 3 3/4 by 5. And that we are going to emboss with the beautiful pattern embossing folder. So I'm going to pop this in here, but I'm going to continue cutting first. So we're going to emboss that. And then I also need a piece of soft seafoam. So I'm going to go with the soft seafoam. So I did these. This one is in soft seafoam as well. And I also had them done in fresh freesia. So they were really pretty. So this I want to be, that's 3 3/4 by 5. I want this to be 3 3 7/8. Because I just want an 1/8 of an inch all the way around. So 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And so this embossed piece that I haven't embossed yet, this is going to sit on here. Oh, that's not right. Is this 3 3/4 by 5? No, it isn't. Okay. 3 3/4. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this is going to sit on here like that once I get it embossed. And then I'm also going to need a piece for my to cut out my circle. So I'm going to put this aside for now, and then I'm also going to need my washi tape. So I have a piece for my washi tape as well. And this washi tape comes in 2 colorways on each roll. So it comes in the pink colorway as well as like a purpley colorway. So we're going to use the pink one today. So let me grab some scissors, and I'm just going to place this. I'm going to cut in between the 2 colorways here. Oop. So I'm just going to go like right here. Like that. And then I'm just going to place it onto my cardstock. Like this. There we go. And I'm going to need my die. Oh, my die for the Extraordinary Flora. So yeah, this bundle is called Extraordinary Flora. Now, if I wanted to, I could actually take this stamp and stamp over this, say, for instance, with Versamark, and then put gold embossing on it, or even just stamp it on with black. Now, for this, because it's very waxy, I probably would use what do you call it? Hold on. Yeah, Stays On. I would use Stays On, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to use it the way it is because I like the soft look. So this die will cut out the entire layer of florals all at one time. So let me grab some tape. There, so I just have some washi tape here, and I'm just going to line that up. Now, when I put this on here, I probably should have gone more in the middle, but that's okay. There. All right, let me grab my cut and emboss machine. All right. I think I need to wash my plate. So when you're cutting with dies in this machine, you're going to need your base plate, which is the thick one. It's number 1. And then also your shim, which is number 2. And then 2 of the cutting plates, which are numbered 3. So you need 2 number 3s. So I'm going to lay this on here like this. And let's just run that through. So here are my pieces. And then I also want to, while I have my machine here, I'm going to cut out my circle from the springtime scenes, and I want this one right here. So let me grab my dies. Come on. Well, they don't want to come with me, so I'm just going to have to get rough with them. All right, so this is the one that I want. This guy right here. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and run him through. So I'm going to throw it on something hard. Sorry if that's really noisy. That does not want to come out. So we use the brush. So the next thing I need to do is my embossing. So I'm going to take my number 1 platform, and you can see it's got your little menu here. It tells you, you know, what plates to use. So I've got my plate number 1. And I'm going to line up my paper along this. There's a little black line there. So I'm just going to line that up there so that it's straight. And I also need my plate that has a 4 on it. Okay, and that comes with your machine. So I'm going to lay down my embossing folder. Always have the fold going in. Fold goes first, and then I'm just going to crank that through. And there we go. So I can put this away now, I think. And here is my embossed piece. Isn't that pretty? I love this. This is my favorite embossing folder, I think. I think it's one of the ones that I seem to go to. I gravitate towards it. And I probably have, I would say 90% of the embossing folders that have ever come out, but that one is my favorite. So here are our die cuts that we just cut with our die. So I'm going to put this away so I don't get confused. I'm trying to get in the habit of putting my dies away when I use them, and I count them because I have so many magnetic things on my desk that if you don't count them, you'd be amazed. Hi Karen, how are you? Thanks for joining us. Tell us where you're from. So I count my dies whenever I go to put them away because I can't even tell you how many dies I've lost over the years. And then I remember one time I was looking for a die, and I looked and looked for weeks. I looked for that darn thing, and it was stuck to the bottom of my, what do you call it? Stamparatus, the magnetic part of the stamparatus. I looked for that die for I don't know how long, and it was stuck to my stamparatus. And I just found it by accident. And I said to my husband, I don't know, like I was torn. Do I order another die set, or do I just, leave it? And so here is the purple one that I've already done. And I had another pink one, but I wanted to show you how easy it is to load the washi tape onto the paper. And then I just keep these because I'm always fiddling around with the extraordinary washi. I just love it. Okay, so the next thing I need to do, oh, you know what else I need is a little piece of the soft sea foam. Lost my mind there for a minute. So I just want a piece of soft sea foam that's the same width as my embossed piece, which is 3 3/4. So let me grab my trimmer. And I think I made those ones about 1 inch. So let me just cut 1 inch. And I'm going to cut it to 3 3/4. There we go. Okay. Alrighty. So now we can start assembling our card. And this is so easy. Let me grab my glue. I may have to grab a new glue. What information is that, Karen? Not sure. If you are looking for a demonstrator, you need to, I can't deal with an American. I can only deal with Canadians, but I have several friends who are Stampin' Up! Demonstrators in the US. I think I'm going to need another bottle of glue here. Let me grab a bottle of glue. There we go. So I'm going to just glue this. I'm having a sale today. I'm just doing a live. Stampin' Up! Is having a sale on Saturday for National Scrapbooking Day. And anything that is related to memory keeping on the Stampin' Up! Website will be 20% off. So if you're interested in that, having a sale. No, I'm not. But thank you for asking. And thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. So this I'm going to go ahead and just glue like right down. But I think, you know what, I'm going to embellish it first. So I need a bunch of mini dimensionals, and I'm going to flip all these over and just load them up with mini dimensionals. So I've got my leaves and some flowers. Yeah, as a Canadian demonstrator, I can only sell to Canadians. Stampin' Up! Is very, very strict about that. Americans can only sell to Americans, and Canadians can only sell to Canadians, which is good. I like it that way. I do sometimes do an affiliation with my friend Verna Mullen. Cox is her maiden name. Verna Mullen in New York State. So if you're looking for an American demonstrator, you know, check out Verna. Her, oh my gosh, I'm having a brain freeze. Her Facebook, well, if you just look up Verna Mullen, Mullen, she'll come up. She and I have collaborated, and we're working on another collaboration right now, actually. So, yeah, she's a real sweetheart. Okay, so why don't we start putting this on here? So I'm going to take my flower. I should have my silicone mat here. What did I do with it? My desk is all, you know, I tidy up my desk and 5 minutes later I look like I didn't even touch it. So I'm going to just pop this right on here. But I am going to grab a silicone mat. I can't find the one that I normally use, but there we go. I have a whole stash of them for when I do classes. All right, so let's see. My husband is making ribs for dinner. Oh, does it ever smell good in here? All right, so I'm going to put that one there. Put that like that. I think I've had too much caffeine today. My hands are like wobbly. You know what? I think I'm going to load this right onto here because I have a feeling I'm going to get glue kind of everywhere. So let's go ahead and put a bit of glue. Just going to lightly go around my circle. Come on. Oh, that was a big blob. I just want to make sure that my center of my circle does not pop up. Ooh, I almost dropped that. So I'm going to put that like this on here. I am so addicted to these, to this washi tape. I love these little roses too. I'm just going to pop these kind of right here. I'm going to take this one off. I don't need that one. There. So cute. And then I have these little daisies. Where will I put these guys? There. I'll just pop that there. It's really cute. And I'm going to pop this over here. There. That is so cute. Okay, so now we can pop this onto here like this. This is such a quick and easy card. The thing that takes the most time is the die cutting. But if you were gonna go, like when I did these, I did all of my die cutting ahead, and then I did all my embossing ahead. And I just did it assembly line style so that when I was ready to go, all I had to do was pop them in envelopes and off I went. So my card base is here, and it's just the basic white thick. And I'm just going to glue that right onto here. And when I was making them, I debated whether to put some twine on there or a ribbon. And I thought, no, you know, I like the simplicity of just the card. Now, I needed a sentiment. So let me just clean this up a little bit here. I've got all my little bits. These are leftovers, so I can make, you know, use them to make another card. They're sticking to my desk mat here. There we go. Whenever the cats come upstairs from, I'm in the basement, and when I'm upstairs, there you can always see between the cat and I, there's always dimensional boogers all over the place. Okay, so for my sentiment, I'm going to use the banner sayings. Now, if you are, you know, like me, I'm often looking just for like a little line banner saying, like just for thank you cards, I'm so grateful, or you're the sweetest, I can't thank you enough. And they're great because they coordinate with this punch. So let's see, I am going to, what will I say? Wishing you good things. Let's use that one. So, wishing you good things. It's this one. And I'm just going to use my scrap that I had before. I just need a block. So I'm going to, I think, stamp this in just memento. So just wishing you good things. And now I just have to decide which banner I want. Let's see. I think I want it like this. There we go. So let me grab some more dimensionals, wherever they may be. I just had the darn things. Oh, right in front of my face. Never mind. All right, so I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals as well. Okay, and that's going to go right there. I think I'm going to put it down here. There we go. And I also have some of the iridescent pearls, the basic pearls. So we're going to use those as well. cover that up because for sure I'm going to get ink on me somewhere. See what I mean about how shaky I am? I think I've had too much caffeine today. There we go. All right, so let me grab my take your pick tool. All right, so let's see. These iridescent pearls are absolutely gorgeous. Stick a big one down here. Another big one over here. And another little one over here. There. Aren't they pretty? So nice. The glare in here is terrible, but I love these iridescent pearls. So they're like the old pearls, except they have just a little bit of, they pick up a little bit of iridescence. They pick up light, and you can see the different iridescent colors. This does not do them justice at all, but they're very pretty. Okay, so put these back in their little envelope. I've seen gems come up on my cat's rear. She'll come and sit on my desk, and if there's a gem with some adhesive sticking, it'll stick to her butt, and then she brings it upstairs. Okay, now on the inside, I'm going to cut another piece of basic, or not basic, what do you call this? Soft sea foam. Let me just measure this one, see how big this is. Maybe we can use this piece rather than cut another. So this one is 3 7/8 by 4 7/8. So that works. We'll just cut a piece of basic white to 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. Why not? So 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. I think that's right. I'll tell you in a minute. Yeah, that'll fit on there just right. Okie doke. So we don't need that. So I'm going to grab some of my flowers that I had previously cut out here. Let's see what we have. Ooh, I froze. Are we all right? Are we back? Yeah, looks like it. Okay. So, yeah, here's a flower. So I'm just going to glue this on here. And on the inside, I'm going to stamp "You Brighten My Day." So let me grab that. "You Brighten My Day." And I'm going to stamp that in soft sea foam. And I'm going to use my stamp positioner because sometimes I find that I need to stamp things more than once. So what I have on here is just a sticky mat. I just got this at my local craft store, and it's just a sticky, it's just a mat with a bit of stick to it. And I found I like using this better than the magnets. So I'm going to pop this on here like this. And then the "You Brighten My Day," I just kind of want it in the middle. So I'm just going to stick it there. And I'm going to use my smaller piece of the positioner. Now this positioner will be available starting May the 5th. And it comes with two plates. It comes with this big plate and then this smaller movable plate. So I'm just going to pick up my my stamp like that, and I'm going to ink it up. And then I'm just going to press it down. Beautiful. And I just want to give it a second stamp because it could be a little bit darker. It could also be a little bit straighter. I guess not too bad. There. So it's a little bit darker, and I like it that way. So give this a clean before I get ink on anything. The other day when I was making my swaps, I left one of my ink pads open. Holy Dinah. Georgie walked right into it, and then I had cat footprints all over everything. Okay, and I'm gonna close this, clean these. Very good. All right. So now I can lift this up. So it's a low tack, but it holds it nicely. So I'm really happy with this. I got mine in my area in Belleville, Ontario, at a craft shop called Glitter and Ink. And so just look for a little independent craft store near you, and they sell them. They're inexpensive and they're great. Those little sticky pads. All right, so I'm just gonna glue this to the inside of my card. Boy, this glue is really flowing today. Holy smokes. Very gluey. Okay. Beautiful. So I'm just going to use that glue on there. And then try not to be quite so gluey. And then I'm just going to center this onto here. Like that. So again, the basic white here was 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. And the soft seafoam was 3 7/8 by 4 7/8. So now I'm just going to pop this on the inside of my card. And there you go. Isn't that pretty? I love it. And there's the inside. And then for our envelope, we grab an envelope here. Come on. I've glue on my fingers, so everything is sticking to me. All right, so for my envelope here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of the washi. Now I want a piece of the pink washi, so I'm going to have to stick the purple onto another piece of cardstock. That's probably why I have so many pieces of cardstock with the washi tape on it. Now this washi is not 6 inches wide, which is what I usually use. So let me just put this down on here. There we go. So I'll use that for another card. So I'm going to take my washi, and I have my envelope onto a on my silicone mat. And what I'm going to do is just nicely cut this so it doesn't look so ragged. Well, it still looks sort of ragged, but and I'm just going to put it on here. Trying to see, the glare in here is ferocious. I'm trying to figure out where where my fold is. Oh, I know what I can do. I'm going to do this. There we go. That's better. Now I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to stick my washi tape on here. And actually, I'm going to move it over. Move it over a little bit because it was way over to one side. I'll do it this way. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Make sure I'm straight. There, that's better. Beautiful. Okay. All right, so now I can just take my scissors and cut away what is an envelope. And then I have a decorated envelope. Now, this is a bit of a waste of a little bit of washi tape, but you know what? For the look, I'm actually okay with that because it just finishes this envelope so nicely. There. So that's the back of the envelope. And then on the front, I can go ahead and just glue a couple of these little pieces here. See if I have a flower. Yeah. So this is the same flower. This has dimensionals on it. I'm just going to pull the dimensionals off. There. I'm going to use this flower on the envelope like that. What I've also done in the past too is put the double-sided adhesive sheets on the back of the cardstock before I cut the washi tape out, and that turns them into stickers. There, so there's our envelope, and here's our card. So that was my swap for my event in Montreal. Isn't that pretty? There. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any questions about any of the products that I've used, or any of the events that are coming up, like the starter kit or the memory keeping sale on Saturday, and what else did I say? The flash sale, the new starter kit, and the product of the month, which is the new vellum, the floral vellum. Feel free to reach out to me. You can reach me at Lisa, so Lisa at Critters'n'Inc.com. So thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. I really appreciate it. I hope you're having a great day, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.